In Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 1985, at a Renaissance fair, TVA Minutemen emerge. A variant is identified and followed by the team into a tent. The commander is placed under a green spell, and she takes out the team one by one. As she is released from the spell, the variant kills the last Minuteman and takes his tracker along with the unconscious commander through a time panel. Miss Minutes quizzes Loki on Nexus events. He angrily bats at her hologram with his magazine until she disappears into a monitor. Mobius picks up Loki and gives him a TVA jacket. They meet with Hunter B-52, who tells them about the attack. Enough temporal aura has been collected to identify the fugitive as a Loki variant, but they are unsure which one. According to Mobius, several Loki variants have been pruned in different timelines, each with a different style. Mobius reminds the team that Loki is with them as an expert on the variant they are hunting. When Loki suggests that getting his powers back might entice him to betray the team, Mobius teases him with an audience before the timekeepers. Intrigued, Loki follows. The team arrives at the Ren Fair shortly after the event, so as not to further damage the flow of time. Mobius and the team quiz Loki further on TVA protocols. At the scene, Loki explains his variant's intentions and suggests an ultimatum, which Mobius refuses. The reset charge goes off, pruning anything from outside the present timeline, TVA bodies, weapons, etc. Back at the TVA, in Judge Renslayer's office, Mobius discusses the mission. The two draw comparisons between Loki's behaviors and each other's. Mobius asks if there is a possibility that this Loki variant is acting differently than the others they have caught, because he truly wants to be better. The judge proclaims the only possibility of that would be if the timekeepers decree it. She gives him one more chance with Loki. Mobius signs the event report and leaves. Outside the judge's office, Loki defensively tries to explain his deception in the field. Mobius identifies his naivety in believing that Loki's need for validation would drive him to want to help. He then calls out Loki on his plan to hijack the sacred timeline after meeting with the timekeepers. Mobius assigns Loki to review the previous variant's crimes in an effort to figure him out. Loki reads through the papers, noticing the pattern of murdering the Minutemen and stealing their reset charges. Bored, he tries to goad a librarian into letting him read other files, but she provides him with another dossier filled with Loki variant case files. Loki comes across the case file for the destruction of Asgard in Ragnarok, which hasn't happened yet to Loki's knowledge. He missed that part on his life. Loki tells Mobius that his variant is likely hiding out in apocalypses. Loki and Mobius discuss the chaotic alterations of a predetermined outcome, which could produce a new timeline. He suggests trapping the Loki variant in Ragnarok. Mobius laughs off Loki's theory, but humors the conversation. In Pompeii, Italy, just prior to the surge eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, Loki and Mobius stand in the city awaiting its destruction. To play a prank on the townspeople, Loki frees some goats and proclaims, in Latin, that he is there to bring dark tidings, and that they will all die. At that moment, the volcano erupts. Mobius picks up no time variance energy in Loki's actions. Even though he might have created a Nexus event, the apocalypse of the eruption creates the perfect hiding spot. Amazed, Mobius happy with the findings. Now chazzing a new hunch, Mobius and Loki investigate doomsday disasters to pinpoint exact locations where the variant might be hiding. The two take a break and Mobius shares his love for jet skis with Loki. Even though he can never own one, Mobius keeps a magazine from the 1990s on jet skis to remind him of what they are fighting for. Loki begins to talk once again about the timekeepers and how they created the TVA and Mobius. Mobius shoots back with the question of how Loki came to be, extrapolating from that how Loki's existence as a god of Asgard is no different. Mobius goes on to poignantly express the chaos of existence and how his disregard of overthinking helps him to get on with his purpose in life. Loki goes on to discuss the concept of freedom in a timeline where past, present, and future are predetermined by the timekeepers. This leads to his next query as to how it will end, and without an answer from Mobius, Loki seems to have made his point. Mobius goes on to express the timekeepers' goal to unite the future into the sacred timeline, so that the TVA and all of existence can meet peacefully at the end of time. When Loki reminds Mobius of a name he once called him, Mobius remembers the gum from the previous episode. They track the gum to a time period and search it for doomsday events. Loki identifies the location as an apocalyptic event in Alabama in the year 2050. Mobius discusses the mission with the judge. Ravonna expresses her concerns for Loki, which Mobius responds to with enthusiasm for catching the variant. Ravonna reluctantly approves the mission, but tells him there won't be much she can do if it doesn't work. The lead hunter B-15 identifies the event as a Class 10 apocalypse. The team arrives in Haven Hills as a cataclysmic storm is tearing through the area. The team enters a Rockskirt superstore. B-15 orders Mobius to leave Loki with her. Loki agrees, much to Mobius's chagrin. In the surveillance room, the variant watches and sets a timer. Loki attempts to talk to B-15, but she silences him. They approach a customer, taking advantage of the store's hurricane sale. Loki advises B-15 to interrogate the customer, as it might be the variant. The customer grabs B-15, placing the green mind control spell on her before fainting. The spell causes B-15 to act as an avatar for the variant, who engages Loki in conversation. The variant confirms its identity as a Loki. Mobius and his team come to a shelter within the store, where one of the hunters frantically begins to search a bag. When Mobius confronts him, another hunter arrives with news that he found C-20, the captured hunter from before. She is sitting in a room terrified, mumbling it's real. Loki discusses the situation with his variant before she passes the spell onto a store employee and then promptly faints. Loki now challenges his variant to show his true form rather than hide behind innocence. Loki proclaims his intention to overthrow the timekeepers. The variant's avatar expresses his disinterest while the real variant sets a reset charge. Mobius speaks to C-20, who tells them that she told Loki where the timekeepers are. B-15 wakes up and looks around, appearing afraid. Loki catches the variant's reset charges, but is attacked by a much larger avatar. The two fight as Mobius and B-15 reunite. The variant sets another timer as Loki gets up to confront the avatar as the variant removes his mind control from it. Behind the avatar, the variant reveals itself as a female Loki, who sends the reset charges to different locations in time before detonating. This creates several Nexus events. The TVA witnesses all this, causing all hunters, Minutemen, and even the judge go into action. The variant opens a time panel and waves to Loki as she walks through it. Mobius and the team run to Loki demanding he wait for them, but Loki follows his variant into the panel. Thank you for viewing our movie recapped. I hope you have enjoyed watching our videos. Please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to help us grow. Click the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload our next videos.